In today's discussion, we are looking at fruits and foods that are extremely toxic, poisonous to our health, yet we are consuming them on a daily basis. Hello, welcome to Daktari Explains.
The interview is hot.
No single disease or condition that you cannot overcome with the right information. Now, the thing is, they are not in their nature poisonous. They're actually extremely healthy. The issue is the chemicals currently available that are being used to fasten the ripening process of some of these foods and fruits that we are consuming. And now these chemicals are what make what was supposed to be healthy no longer healthy, but rather poisonous and toxic. The goal of this video today is to increase the awareness, because the awareness has been done for years. There is a lot of data already available. You just need to Google. And you find all this information. It's been there for the last decade when some of these chemicals became easily accessible, because some of them actually, like one of them, calcium carbide, belongs to the metal and plastic industries. Nowhere for human consumption. However, these chemicals are able to reduce, if a fruit is supposed to ripen in like 2 weeks, you just in 2 days and everything is done in a very uniform way. Now, many people are coming to the hospitals today bearing symptoms associated with these chemicals. Now, what happens when you come to the hospitals? The doctors will treat that which you've presented with. If it's headaches, if it's hyperacidity, if it's all those mouth ulcers, we'll go through these symptoms one by one. But now you'll be treated for that. But then you go home and then the problem recurs, because the enemy is right there in your plate. So we are sending you back to the kitchen. I'm here to send you back to the kitchen, back to your plate from wherever you get food, to be very deliberate about the food and the sources of the food that you consume and these fruits. Now, in terms of food is factored here because of especially tomatoes. We use tomatoes ideally in all food. And we know there are people who eat food from breakfast, lunch, and supper. So like all the meals in a day have tomatoes in them, and these tomatoes are carrying this toxin inside. So what are the symptoms? These chemicals, before the symptoms, what they do is they deprive your brain oxygen, giving you a state called brain hypoxia. Once you get into brain hypoxia, it triggers a cascade of all the events, all the symptoms that I'm about to mention. One being headaches. Every time you're deprived of oxygen, headaches will be triggered. Nausea, you're feeling very nauseated. We have some receptors in our brain which are very, very sensitive to the oxygen saturation levels. And when that is deprived, they trigger what now? Nausea, and which could lead to vomiting. There is dizziness, mood disturbance, memory loss, confusion, seizures. Now, leave alone seizures. Most of these symptoms, actually, you hear a lot of people say, I feel brain fog. That's the term that it's often used, brain fog. You just feel people are talking to you and it's almost like you're in your own world. You cannot be attentive because of that. And this is caused by the deprivation of oxygen in your brain, causing all this. And now seizures, especially with the children who have many other reasons why they get seizures or convulsions. But now these toxins are increasing and worsening, and even causing, for children who don't have the conditions that cause seizures, Now it triggers seizures in such children. So this is how bad some of these chemicals are. Now, when it comes to the mouth and the GIT system, that is the food pathway, a lot of mouth ulcers, because that is where we start by digesting our foods, and these chemicals are very acidic. So mouth ulcers that will go all the way to stomach ulcers, increasing your acidity level, what you now say you have hyperacidity. Very well, how do I put it? In a very simple way, your stomach is always unsettled. It's either you're having loose stools, you're having hyperacidity, you're just not able to fully function to your activity because of your stomach status. Now, progressing on is your reproductive system, both men and women, and especially in women, because these toxins affect your hormone balance. They elevate estrogen so highly, and this will create infertility crisis in you. Yes. So this is to bring to your awareness that we are not eating foods, but rather we are eating poison. Now, when you come to the hospital, these toxins are also interfering with the complete blood count results. That is one of the basic tests that is always done. It elevates, especially the calcium carbide, has been found to elevate your white blood cells. So what this will tend to make the doctor treat you for an infection, but you realize this infection, the symptoms seem to subside, then come back. That is me speaking from a front of actually met someone who's gone through this exactly. The symptoms just go back. So you're on like 4-5 cycles of infections, and other things have been ruled out. But these toxins are causing all that. And that means what? A lot of misdiagnosis. That means, because even if the doctors send you to a nutritionist, the nutritionist will advise you on health. They'll tell you on its balanced diet, but in that balanced diet, therein lies the enemy. Now, and general impairment of the immune function. Now, these chemicals, example, the calcium carbide, which gives us the acetylene gas, has arsenic and phosphorus. These are highly carcinogenic agents. What does this mean? Increases your chances for getting cancer. What is cancer? Abnormal cell growth. So it facilitates that environment for you. It not only facilitates, it triggers abnormal cell proliferation and also facilitates them to grow even rapidly. So cancers will also rise because of that. So be aware, be informed, general fatigue, and go back to the kitchen and possibly withdraw some of these things, or change your vendor, or farm them yourself, or do something about it, especially these frequent headaches and stomach aches that people are presenting in the hospital. And then you're always on either antibiotics, you're either on H. pylori kits, you're always ranging in between there. It's not too serious, but it's also not to be ignored. Just go back to your food and check from where you get. Most of this research even outlined for us from the food science technology department. They even outline for us how you can pick them. Some of these foods, the color is, if it's a tomato, it's red, but the smell, it smells like a flower. It's raw. The taste is absent. If it's a mango, it's yellow, but the normal color on the outside. Inside, the juice is not as sweet as it's supposed to be. So there are many ways, and the uniformity of some of these fruits should also be a red alert. So that is all for today. 8 minutes to 9. Yes. Have I forgotten something? I don't think so. I have my small notes over here because I was reading through some of this research work that has been done. So be informed. Let's be vigilant on where we are getting some of these foods from. Don't ignore them because they are very important, these foods, but find them from the right source. And avoid where you know definitely these ones are contaminated. Your stomach problems, your headaches, dizziness, nausea could be your food away. It just needs you to change your food and you'll be fine, and you don't have to come to hospital. If you've gone through these problems for a long time, this toxin is already in your cycle for a long time, you can always reach out. My details are always on the screen, and we can advise on where to get proper detoxification products, those for cleaning your blood and all that. Thank you. That is all for today. Bye bye.